Hi guys. So now today let us try we can pass parameters to a React route. So in this diagram, I'm just trying to show you how the entire things work. So first, let's look at this URL. So localhost :3000/name. Actually, this is just a route we have created here. So let me just correct the route also. So it should be /name/name :name, and name should be component. So I will now create a component called name, to which I'm going to pass a variable called name. So I have a component called name, okay? And I have defined a route, which is again /name. But now in this scenario, I can also pass a variable to the route, which also I have given the value name. I can give it any name, but as of now, I have just given the parameter also with the value name. So the idea is that you can also pass parameters to a route, like in this case, localhost :3000/name, and I'm passing a parameter called SkillCone. Now the parameter that I'm passing, which is SkillCone, can be received by my component function. And to receive it, I have to use a useParams hook here. So useParams hook is provided by React Router DOM library. And in order to receive the parameter which I'm passing to the route, which is SkillCone, I just need to use the useParams hook. And this hook returns me a params object, which has a structure like this: name SkillCone. Now this name that you see here is actually the same name which is referred here. So whatever the name I'm referring here in this, my route definition, it is the same parameter which is available here. So that is how our routing works. To summarize, I can pass parameters in my route, like I'm passing SkillCone here to the route /name. To pass it, I need to first define my route, and in this route, I have to add additionally a parameter called :name, which represents the name of the variable that will be passed to my component. Next thing, in my component, I can use the useParams hook, and this will return me an object with the value, with the key as name, same as we have defined the key here in the route, and the value is SkillCone, which is actually being passed from the route here. So that is the way we are able to get our parameter being passed to a route. So let's now try to write this piece of code and again see how we can make it working. So first, I'm going to create my component called name. So I'll just create a new file quickly. Give it a name as namej.js. I will just do a console.log of params ob to see the params. Next thing, in my app.js, I will again create one more route, which is same as I've shown here. Route path is equal to /name, element equal to is the name of my component, name. And I also need to tell what is the parameter name, which is :name here. Close the route component. And I also need to import. So import name from name. And I also need to do the export here. Good. That is all. Now I can see the param object being printed and in the console. Right? I need to do one more thing, guys, by the way, which is what? In the link which you see here, I need to write name slash SkillCone. So automatically the name will be passed in the URL. So coming back here, let me also write here link to equal to the path, which is name. Also the parameter which I'm passing is SkillCone. And then close the link tag, add a line break tag, save it. So now to the route, I'm passing a variable called SkillCone. I can pass whatever variable I want here. Now let us go back to the browser and see if you are able to get the output. It's saying useParams not defined. Why? I need to do one more thing, guys. useParams, as I told you, is a hook which is provided by the library, which is my React router DOM. So save it. And now let us see if you are able to get the application. Okay, name is not defined. Probably I didn't save it. And save here also. Now I think it should work. Good. So now let us try to see if you are able to get it working. I'm going to open my console also, because I want to see the output of the console to see whether I'm able to get the params getting passed properly. And I will go to now name, and yes, you can see here the object is available, which means I can now return. And here I'm going to write a div, close the div, and here in the H3 heading, I will just write here name equal to params ob dot name, and close the heading tag. So simple. Save it, and again let me see the output. Go back to the name, and yes, SkillCone, it is getting printed. I can pass another value also here. Right, instead of SkillCone, if I pass, let us say maybe skillcone.com, save it. And now if I go back to my application and go to name, you can see the exact value is getting passed. All right, fairly simple. Now the next thing, we understand that params ob is an object. So remember guys, we destructured last time the values of the props. Similar way, I can also destructure my params ob, something like this. So I will just destructure the object and get the name value directly here, which means I don't need to use the params ob here, and directly I can access the name value. Again, going back, we can see our application is working fine because we have destructured it right now. From the useParams return value object, we are able to destructure and get the key, which is name, as a variable, and we can print it here. And that is the way we can pass parameters. Now we can pass more than one parameter also. For example, if I want to pass more parameter, I need to do some small changes. I can write /city. This is one more thing I need to add here. And now I have added one more parameter called city. So I can pass that value in the link tag. Let's pass the value also, Bangalore. Yeah, Bangalore, which is the place where our office is. And now, if I go back, my object will have two properties, name and one more property, which is going to be what? Which is going to be city. So I'm going to now destructure the city also. And in case if you are confused, we can again see what useParams actually contains before printing the city value. Okay. Save it, and let us now first see the output. So going back to the name, I can see I'm able to pass the name and the city value. Now open the console, and here I can see within my params object, I have two values, the city and the name. So the value becomes name, skillcone.com, city, Bangalore, right? So we understand that it creates an object again with two web properties, the name and the city. So let's destructure the object again here. And now we can also print here the value of city and city equal to city. Save it. And now we can see that I'm able to show both the values, the name and the city within my component. Right? Pretty simple. So that is the way we can pass parameters in React Router. So guys, I would like you guys to write this piece of code and let me know if you are able to get it working or if you have any questions. And next, we will move to the next discussion on React Router. So guys, we also now get one more common requirement, which is how to handle routes that are not present. That means if I at this moment try to go to a route which is not present, or let us say in the in the URL itself, I'm trying to go to maybe name1, which is not a route that is defined, you will see that it will not tell the user that what is the problem. It will just go back directly to the home page. Or if I go to a URL route like ASDF, you will see that it will just directly show the home page contents. We don't want that. We want that whenever there is a wrong route accessed by the user, we should be able to tell them that the route is wrong and do something for that. So for that, we can do a very simple thing. First, we will create a new component. Let's say not found component. So not found.js is the name. Okay. And we will just write here not found. And return, we will just return maybe, a heading. The route you are trying to access is not available. Correct? That's one thing we can do, and save it. And let's do some, decoration around this. So we will go back to our, app.css here. Create a class called not found. And just give a border of red with some padding. And this time we'll give a border radius also. And next thing we will do is, we will come back to our notfound.js and give a class. Yeah, give a class. Now instead of class, we have to do class name and give the class not found. Save it. So now the next thing is we need to do some changes within our app.js, which is a very simple change. Just write here route and define a path equal to star, which means for every other path other than the routes we have defined here, it will go to this component. And the component will be what? The component will be not found. One more thing we need to do, which is we need to import the component. So let's quickly export. And then go back to our app.js. Yeah, app.js. And here, we will import the component. From not found. Save it. So we have created a route with path equal to star, which means for any route other than these routes, it will go to this particular component, which is not found. And now let's try to see if it is working. Not found, not defined. It's most likely because I have not saved it. So let me just save it. And All right, so you can see, all right. So let's go to regular route, name, it is working fine. Counter, it is working fine. And if I try to go to some URL, which is random, then if I enter, you will see that it is right now showing me that the route you're trying to access is not available in a red border. So that is a simple way. I will repeat what we have done. We just define a route with path equal to star, which means for all the other paths, it should come to this route with the component as not found, which we have already defined here. And after that, whenever we try to go to a route that is not available, we will see that it will land up in this route, thereby telling the user that, yes, this is a route which is not available to you. Simple, right? So that is also one of the features which React Router provides to us. So why don't you also try to write this piece of code and see if you are able to get it working. In the next discussion, we will move to, few more interesting things about routing, like nested routes, which is very important and, is used in most of the applications. That is all for now, guys. Write this piece of code and see if you are able to get the output. And if you have any questions, then please let me know.